On this week's episode, we bring back Name of the Year.
Because it's March Madness.
But really, it's not. It's already April.
It's all done. Congrats to UConn.
Dishes are done, man.
Welcome to the iKnowBadeaux podcast.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the iKnowBadeaux podcast. Coming at you from the new Local 218 studios. I'm here with my brother.
I need a bath. I need a bone. I need a dick.
I don't know which one we're going to continue to use anymore.
It's a great one, though.
They're all great. They're all great. Anyways, over there as well is Mr. Gabriel Johnson.
Dave, how are you?
I'm excellent. How are you, sir?
I'm excellent.
So we're just going to get started right away this episode. We are going to do, ladies and gentlemen, Name of the Year 2023. For those of you who are not familiar, Name of the Year is a tradition unlike any other that had been going on since 1983. And what was it, 2 years ago, I believe it was? Or was it 2020 was the last year? Or was that
2020 or 2019?
2019, I believe, was the last year. 2020 was the first year they didn't do it. So this is a tournament of names that have been in the news for the previous year, going head to head to see who will be crowned Name of the Year. The group that had been doing it quit doing it. So last year, because we're such fans of it, we said, well, let's do a tournament where we take all of the people that didn't win the championship in the previous years, and we'll do a full-on tournament to see who it could be crowned the second chance winner. We are not claiming ownership over this. We are not claiming this is original.
No, we're absolutely stealing it.
We're stealing it, 100% stealing it, until someone comes back and says, hey, that's my wallet. Oh, here's your wallet. We took $20 out of it, but here's your wallet back. So we're going to go ahead. The way we're going to do this is each of us will pick a name, and then we'll go around the horn, the next person. So if Scott will pick a name, Gabe will pick a challenger to that name, and then we'll go around. We will get to the very end, and there will be one name left over, obviously, because that's how math works. Okay, so Scott, you're going to start. You're going to throw out your first name?
Georgiopoulos.
That was my first name.
All right, in a category one here, Georgiopoulos. Gabe, who will he be facing off in the first round?
He is going up against General Booty.
Two very, very strong names. Both of those, and actually you're going to find out that most of these names are individuals that are sports related. Mm-hmm. Evidently, if you've got a weird name, you're trying to get into sports, because the majority of these are athletes. Georgiopoulos, I believe, is a kicker from Mississippi State.
Correct.
In football, Americana. And then General Booty, I believe, is the quarterback for Oklahoma U, if I'm not mistaken. Again,
with a name like that, you better be a quarterback.
Yeah.
And it better be in Oklahoma.
Or a long snapper.
Agreed. Gabe, why don't you give out your first name?
Dick Bigger Jr.
Oh, come on!
I mean, you just went right for the gusto.
They're just right next to each other.
So Gabe has selected, I would say, the overall number one pick of the draft.
It has to be.
Of the tournament.
He's a farmer from Henderson County.
And the way he came up was, it was an Illinois county, some kind of, I would assume it was a state legislator or something along those lines, put out an ad, and in support of this individual was Dick Bigger Jr. All right, so Dick Bigger Jr. All right, cool. I'm going to throw it a low ball then, because I don't want to get screwed over here. I want some of my winners to continue here. So I'm going to throw out Dick in Love. Dick in Love. Well, it's O-N, Dick on Love.
Dick on Love.
Dick on Love. Dickon, last name Love. Evidently a bell ringer in the city of London. So
what's a bell ringer do?
They ring bells.
I would assume they ring bells, but I don't know. Is he in charge of multiple bells? Is it just one bell? Like, I am the curator of this bell. I test it with a little hammer to make sure it rings correctly. Rings true, if you will. How is that a job, first and foremost? How has that not become a mechanical process at this point? Because we have bells here in town at the county. There ain't a dude up there ringing bells.
Why not?
Playing Beatles on the bells.
I hear La Cucaracha every once in a while.
Oh, do you? All right. So Dick Bigger Jr. will be facing off against Dickon Love. I believe that is a perfect category or a perfect matchup there. So my first one here. Oh, I'm going to have to go for something good here. I am going with a hockey player. I believe it's from the Czech Republic, but I may be incorrect because it's just CZE. One gentleman named Ivan. All spelt the same. Ivan. Ivan.
Not Ivanson.
Nope, just
Ivan.
Yeah, not son of Ivan. Original Ivan.
Pretty good.
And Scott, who are you coming up with to match up with that?
I have to go with, oh God. I'll save this one for you guys. The best one, I think.
The best one? Better than Dick Bigger Jr.?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, fine, I'll say it.
Yep.
Steve? Is his first name Steve?
Yep.
His first name is Steve.
Steve with two E's.
With two E's?
Well, three E's. So STEE.
Oh, wow.
VE. Steve. Ho you fat. Spelled exactly ho you fat. Three different names, I guess.
Yes. Are you seriously putting Ho You Fat against Ivan? What a matchup. Man, you are just
They're all good.
You're kicking Ivan right in the testicles with that one. Yes, Steve with two E's, which also makes it so much better. Steve. Ho You Fat. Steve is a basketball player in a French league, I believe.
Yeah,
For
the French A-League.
Yeah. Interesting. Crazy. Scott, you're first again.
Well, in that case, we're going to go with Ed Balls.
There's only one answer to go with Ed Balls.
I'm going to match up Ed Balls with one other Ed Cox.
So Ed Balls is in the news because he is a former politician who initially was one of the names of the year, I believe, or was a candidate. And he was in there because he just simply tweeted.
His first tweet was his name. Like he thought he was on Google or something. He just searched Ed Balls.
Just tweeted. Ed Balls tweeted Ed Balls. First ever tweet. And the reason why he's back in the news is because one gentleman who is also a politician in the UK, Mr. Ed Cox, got a shout out from Ed Balls just saying, good luck.
Good luck, Ed.
Yeah.
So I would say that fits here as well. Good luck, Ed.
Good luck, Ed. Cock v balls.
Oh, what a great matchup. All right. So, Gabe, you're going to go first again.
All right, I'm going to go with a freshman from Central Arkansas University named Dude Person.
Dude Person. Technically first name Rontavius, which is also awesome, but Dude Person. I think there's the only correct answer to go with that with Dude Person is one gentleman who is a tight end from FIU, Mr. Rowdy Beers.
Rowdy Beers. So we got the dude was not this other guy's actual name. Is this kid's name actually Rowdy?
I didn't look
Probably
up.
Roddy.
Rowdy. Oh man. I couldn't tell you for sure, Scott, but I will say this, that what a great name for a college athlete.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rowdy
Just pounding
Beers.
beers.
Yep, Rowdy Beers. That's going to be a great matchup, actually. All right, so that's over to me then. I've been waiting for this one here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Parker Titsworth.
Parker Titsworth, number 69.
Number 69, who just happens to have a website that you can go to and order merchandise from. And what's that website?
Titsworth69.com.
Let's go ahead and give him the Badeaux bump. So I've got Parker Titsworth, and that's over to you, Scott.
Yes. One Arlington Hambright.
That's a good one. I love it. Those are probably my favorite ones. Arlington.
It's so sophisticated.
Yeah, Arlington Hambright.
There's no way that guy doesn't know how to read.
There's a perfect one to go against him, but it won't happen in this first round here. All right, Gabe, over to you.
It won't because I think I've only got 2 left here. So we're going to go with Jane Huang.
Jane Huang. Oh, I'm sorry, Scott. You're first. Scott, you got to throw out a name first. I apologize.
First?
You're first.
Oh.
Sorry.
I think we need to start over.
You already know. You already know who you're going against. It sounds like.
Well, it has to be Boogie Anderson.
Ooh-wee. Boogie Anderson.
Short for Booger Anderson.
Guard from Southern Louisiana. You playing a little bit of basketball. Boogie Anderson. It's a perfect name for a basketball player. Boogie. And then Gabe, are you? What are you going with to match up?
Committed to Jane Huang.
Jane Huang versus Boogie Anderson. And I think this is the last one here then as well, isn't it? So my choice here, this is a great matchup.
You have to put out both.
I got to put out both. So it's sticking with the category of
balls, cocks, and Huangs.
of Huangs. This is Dong Dong. A Chinese.
Is that a bell ringer?
Yes. Oh, God. No, there's a bell ringer. There's a bell ringer if I've ever heard one.
No, that's ding dong.
Which is also a penis. Dong Dong is facing up against Low Seed, however, a great inclusion because we have to have Your Majesty.
Your Majesty.
Your Majesty Sanders.
Yes.
So we got a Dong Dong versus Your Majesty Sanders, which is a great matchup. All right. So our matchups are set. Facing off in the first round of the Sweet 16 in the 2023 Name of the Year. Totally stolen. Totally not our idea. But hey, listen, if you're gonna drop the ball on this fantastic idea, we're gonna pick it up and run with it. Yeah, we're gonna run with it for a little while. So we've got Georgopoulos versus General Booty. That's a fantastic matchup. You got to remember that we are in the Sweet 16, so all these are bangers. And I would argue my favorite of the entire competition, we got a Dick Bigger Jr. fighting against Dick on Love. Just that's a Dick on Dick matchup if I ever seen one. I love just that Dick Bigger Jr. he's a farmer, just a good salt of the earth character. I would assume. I don't know this for a fact. Don't look
cuts his own hair too.
Sure looks like it.
For sure does, or has gotten too close to the farm equipment a couple times. Facing off as well is Ivan versus Steve Ho You Fat.
That's a matchup.
I think you just crushed Ivan's hopes.
Well, we'll see.
I don't know. I like some repetition.
If it was just Ivan, that's one thing. Mm-hmm. But you threw in that third Ivan.
Middle name Ivan.
Yeah, you gotta
also
be in the hospital when they're putting the name on the birth certificate.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you call him? Ivan. The last name's Ivan. Yeah. What about middle name? Ivan.
I
think you're mistaken. Yeah.
I think we've established Ivan.
Name Ivan. Okay. Name Ivan. Name Ivan.
And this poor gentleman, Steve, his last name is just Ho You Fat. There's not a lot you can do about that, At least
what would you want to do?
No, leave it. Continue the tradition.
Print it on jerseys.
OUFat69.com.
Steve. I really hope that there is a family crest somewhere as well for Ho You Fat. It's
just
be,
this
right?
Buddha statue.
Just a coat of arms. Probably the matchup of the century, cock versus balls. It is.
Yes.
It should be its own division, the Ed division. Ed balls versus Ed cocks. I'm going to thank you guys for that because that's the only answer that could possibly have happened. And just the idea that Ed Balls came out of Twitter retirement, I'm assuming. I don't know.
Of course it was.
If the man only tweeted his name to start, this is not a man that is, a Twitter aficionado. He isn't just waiting to tweet things. He just comes out of Twitter retirement to say,
good luck, Ed.
Good luck, Ed. So that's going to be a great matchup as well. And then, also in the college sports division here, which is basically every single
the whole
all college sports division.
Everybody but Dick Bigger Jr. He's actually old.
Rowdy Beers versus Rontavious Dude. Person. I could want to call him, say, Pearson, which is, that's what he does. Yeah, he's a Pearson. However, he's Dude Person. A great matchup there. Followed closely by Parker Titsworth. Again,
69.
Titsworth69.com. Check him out. Get some merchandise. Give him the Badeaux bump. Versus Arlington Hambright. That's a good name.
I love that name.
That's a great name. And actually, I personally would have loved to see a matchup of Arlington Hambright versus Your Majesty Sanders. That's just a regal division if I've ever seen one.
Chicken versus pork.
And then, and we didn't even talk about who this lady is, but Jane Huang. Gotta love it. Jane is actually vice president of global. What is it?
She's the one who made
Mars.
the M&Ms not sexy.
She did. I mean,
More inclusive.
You could have high heels and be inclusive.
I mean, well,
Yeah, but some of them have to be
she
ugly.
was gifted the job of presenting that. I won't put the decision on her so much as she was gifted with the responsibility as the vice president, the global vice president of Mars Wrigley. So high up. And she, of course, is going up against a gentleman just named Boogie Anderson. Boogie. Oh, man. And we're not going to allow that person to have an actual first name. That we're sticking to the fact that is his first name. And wrapping it up, we've got a strong matchup. One and only Dong Dong.
Dong Dong.
A Chinese gymnast versus Your Majesty Sanders.
Oh, that's a tough one.
It's going to be great. I'm actually super excited. These are great. This is a fantastic set of names. We had a couple of extra ones that I kind of liked as well. We had a, what was it? Dusty, what was her last name? Dusty Self.
Yes.
Thought that one was pretty good. Dusty Self. We had a Guy Forget.
Ooh,
Which
that's a good one.
I did like Guy. Well, Guy Forget lost out to Dong Dong. This is the iKnowBadeaux podcast. Guy Forget doesn't get on the list when there's the potential of a double dong.
That's a penis.
Go for the double down.
We're going double dong every time. All right, so there's your matchups, ladies and gentlemen. This should be a ton of fun. We're super excited. I'm going to throw out one thing just to kind of wrap up the episode here. Because we talked about this 2 episodes ago, I said it was going to be in the 1990 edition and then completely forgot to bring it up in that episode. One of the movies that came out in 1990 had a fantastic name in a foreign country. And of course, the movie is Pretty Woman. How do you guys feel about the movie Pretty Woman?
Heard of it?
Seen it maybe once.
I remember being pretty young, and it's a show about a prostitute, right? So
Maybe I'll check it out.
very famous
all right.
movie, by the way. Very famous movie about a prostitute. Just a strange thing that can only happen in the 80s and 90s, I would assume. You're not really going to become
Especially out of Disney Studios.
Yeah, very, very strange decision. However, the Chinese name for the movie Pretty Woman is "I will marry a prostitute to save money."
We'll do it live.
I guess.
Yeah.
I will marry a prostitute to save money. I don't know though, because she went shopping and spent a ton of money. I don't know. It seemed like you were spending quite a bit of money.
That was before he put a ring on it. He was trying to save money.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Had to
sure.
put the ring on it to stop the spending.
Yeah. So just to end up this episode, we're going to throw out a couple other movies that have really good foreign names. Most of them are from China, by the way. You guys remember the movie Full Monty? The Full Monty?
Heard of it?
Kind of.
The Full Monty in China is known as Six Naked Pigs.
It's about what it was about, right?
It's very descriptive. It's very descriptive. I hope there's 7 people. That would be great.
One of them was kind of attractive.
Yeah. 6 naked pigs and another guy.
And Steve.
If you had to guess what the subtitle to the movie Die Hard with a Vengeance is in Denmark, what would you guess?
Das Flutenduten.
Die Hard with a flute. Gabe, throw one out there.
Say Die Hard. I don't know any Dutch.
I mean, the translation, obviously.
Murder difficultly.
Murder difficulty.
With a vengeance?
Well, you got to remember that in the U.S.,
anger.
Die Hard
Yeah.
2 had the subtitle of Die Harder. In Denmark, Die Hard 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance, is Die Hard Mega Hard.
Yes! Hell yeah. Mega hard.
Mega Hard.
I love that.
All
I
right,
would
so
see that.
one of my favorite movies of all time, I would say top three favorite movies, is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Have you seen it?
Heard of it.
Very similar. So we were just talking last episode about Total Recall and about erasing memories, and in that instance, implanting memories. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind's a great movie. It's about heartache, and a man decides that he wants to erase the memory of a woman that he was dating. And so the movie is him going through the procedure of having her erased, but then you're kind of in his own mind as he decides he doesn't want it to happen.
It's not Vanilla Sky, too.
Kind of, but this is it's a phenomenal movie. It's very well played out where she kind of is interacting with him in his memories as she's being erased, and they're having a conversation. And he decides at some point that he doesn't want her to be erased, but it's too late. So he's kind of going through this thing where they're trying to connect as she's being deleted. But
Does he ride a hoverboard around or anything?
he doesn't. However, in the movie,
It happened in Back to the Future 3 as well.
Okay.
Well, they were disappearing from the news.
yes,
the front of the
yes,
newspaper.
yeah. So the title of that in Italy is "If You Leave Me, I Delete You."
Okay.
Very direct.
Yikes.
Super
Better than I Will Find You, I suppose.
And honestly, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is quite the title, but phenomenal movie. I love it. It's actually, I'm not kidding you, that's top three movie for
I'll have
me.
to check it out.
The movie Airplane. Scott, you're a fan of the movie Airplane.
All things that type of movie, yes.
If you had to describe the movie Airplane in a title, what would it be?
I think they pretty much hit it on the head.
Airplane?
Yeah.
Just Airplane?
I don't know.
Well, in Germany,
Wacky hijinks. Wacky hijack hijinks.
you nailed it. In Germany, the title of Airplane is The Unbelievable Trip in a Wacky Airplane.
Yes! Yeah! God, I'm a genius. Wacky.
All right. We'll do just a couple more of these. You guys are familiar with the movie Boogie Nights. Mm-hmm. Famous for the end of the movie where he just whips out his gigantic
dong.
gigantic double dong. We're talking about a double dong.
Yeah.
Just gigantic prosthetic double dong at the end of that.
Wait, that's not Mark Wahlberg's dong?
If it is Mark Wahlberg's dong, he's doing a great job of keeping that in his pants, because I would be boogie nighting all the time. I would just be like, whoops, there it is again. Sorry, it's falling out the bottom of my shorts a third time. However, in China, the name of the movie Boogie Nights is His Powerful Device Makes Him Famous.
Hell yeah.
Also, very
Yes, it does.
Legit.
they really like to get to the point with their titles of exactly what things are.
Well, that just reminds me that we need to talk about Willem Dafoe.
His gigantic penis?
Willem Dafoe
Oh, yes.
has such a impressive unit down there that they had to bring in a fucking body double for this movie that he
it
was
wouldn't
in.
hurt the
so,
actress.
so that they could finish the scene, because everybody was too mesmerized by the size of his cock to be able to act around it.
Oh, that's freaking amazing.
Penis is evil.
Look it up.
Yeah,
It's legit.
That's you sent it to us, and I was like, that wow. He is in a movie. Was it Antichrist? Is that the movie they were talking about?
I don't remember.
Because goddamn, that movie is messed up, and I would argue.
Did you see his wang?
There's a very graphic sex scene in that movie, and there's a
Body
The
double.
answer's no. You didn't see his wang. You saw somebody else's wang.
we didn't see the double dong. All right, I'll do one more and then we'll get out of here. And this one's just kind of a fun one. The movie Hot Shots in the Czech Republic was just known as Warm Shots.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It was all right. All right, so
shots.
we'll save that for another time as well. Those are fantastic. I wanted to bring that up last episode, but man, we recorded an hour and 25 minutes last episode.
Yeah, the Patreon bonus content's going to be lit.
I don't think so. I think that stuff is just left. I was so exhausted by the time I was done editing that, where there's a ton of stuff we had to just get rid of. It was a lot of our conversations went long. There were individuals from music, and there were some movies that got cut on and left on the cutting room floor. Fantastic episode. Go back and watch the Be Kind Rewind 1990. But there was so much content in that I just had to snip that baby down and let her buck. But I would love to do another version of this at some point as well. So that's the end of this week's episode. But go ahead and get yourself involved in the voting for Name of the Year. Again, that'll be on all of our social media stuff. You can do it right on the YouTube video. You can do it right on the post for the podcast. We'll tally all that stuff up. It'll be a lot harder for us, but I think that's the fair way to do it, is just however you want to interact with us, feel completely fine to do so. And then we'll tally all that stuff up each week, and we'll move this whole thing forward. We won't spend a lot of time on the actual podcast going through the winners. We'll probably mention a few of them from time to time, but really this is all about you. We have selected the options, and now you guys get to select who the winner is for Name of the Year.
And it's Ho You Fat.
Ho You Fat's really good, but
Dick Bigger Jr.
Dick Bigger Jr. The man there's got to be a country song about him. There has to be.
We should have the Tiger King record one.
It's just too good of a story. But again, the choice is up to you, the listeners, as to who is the 2023 Name of the Year. 100% stolen, and we don't care. I actually don't care. We gave them enough time to pick up the pieces. It appears that they're just not going to continue, and so we're just going to run with it until they, if they start doing it again, we'll obviously back off, because
use their bracket.
Well, it's so much more fun to it is so much more fun to just have it in the news and just bring it up and say, hey, by the way, keep an eye on this, go vote, because that was our big thing back in the past, was directing people. Like, we wanted to give people the Badeaux bump. Go vote for.
Yeah, we drove the traffic to that contest anyway.
Absolutely, one of the best things.
So it was basically ours
since 1983, and then you're just gonna let her fall. So this would be the 30th anniversary edition of the Name of the Year. Go check that out on our Facebook, our YouTube. Well, you're probably right. Check all that out, and next week we will be back. We'll see what we do. I don't know if we'll do the news or if we'll do a different, maybe a game again next week. But until then, we're done.
I asked the Chat GPT, the AI robots, I asked it to find me funny names from the last year that were in the news. Wouldn't do it.
No, I can't, because it'll tell you that I don't know anything.
You can't laugh at people's names?
No, it told me that it was inappropriate and offensive.
Jesus Christ.
It wouldn't partake.
And that's why they don't run the Name of the Year contest anymore. It's because it's inappropriate and offensive.
It's not nice to laugh at people's names.
I don't think it's offensive. I think.
Guess what? Our fucking last name is Buttocks.
And
entire childhood growing up,
and
people couldn't pronounce our name.
Not only that, it means stupid. It means a person that's stupid.
Literally means a mouth-breathing idiot.
A mouth-breathing idiot.
That's the definition of our last name.
We were talking about this last night because, and you and I have talked about this as well, a missile is anything that is, a projectile is a missile. An arrow is a missile. Everything's a missile.
A ninja star.
But the definition of a projectile is a missile that is but at the same time, it's the same thing as Badeaux. Somebody just decided at some point, no, Badeaux is now that guy.
Got Badeaux'd.
Probably one of the best quotes of
You totally months into that.
Oh, you got Munson out in the middle of nowhere.
Why don't you go eat that outside and then come on back in?